Welcome to Wednesday Night Live from the basement. Here's your hosts, Rob, Daryl, and Tim.
That was weird. Did you guys see all the intro, or did it freeze like it did for me?
No, I saw the intro.
No, it froze on my end. My internet has been kind of a little bit spotty here, so let me just make sure.
It did cut off though. It was like, now your host Rob, Daryl, and then it cut off. I thought maybe that was intentional because Joe's not here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got the whole thing, no problem.
All right. Well, if you guys see audio or video problems on my end, let me know, and I'll see if I can solve them on my end. It's Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Tim, Daryl, and special guest Chris. How you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Great.
Wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything new and exciting?
Other than the snow?
Yeah.
You still got snow down there?
Still, yeah.
Oh. It warmed up. It warmed up here, but it didn't melt any.
Yeah. It's been pretty bad. Daryl, I assume. I mean, all of Ontario is the same. So we're just.
Where are you, Chris?
I'm in like near North Bay, Sudbury area.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's just like it'll be warm for one day and then like super cold for like a week and then warm and then super cold. Mornings are very cold. It was like -15 this morning. I'm sure, Daryl, you got it even worse.
Yeah, I heard Timmins was -26 yesterday, but today I don't know. It was like -10 when I woke up, and then by lunchtime it was 0 or something like that. It's supposed to go up to +8 and rain on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not looking forward, as much as I'm looking forward to warm weather, I'm not looking forward to that because I've still got 400,000 feet of snow in my yard.
Yeah. So the problem is
freezing rain freezes again. It's just gets to be too much.
We've been getting a lot of rain too, and then the next day is just freezing cold, and then you've got a puddle of frozen ice.
I know.
I won't complain because all our snow melted here, and it's going to be +16 tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'll take it.
Not us. Friday's supposed to be decent, and then it's supposed to be very, very cold.
Spring can't come soon enough. I'm done with this winter nonsense.
No, I got a show Friday, so hopefully it's not too cold getting out of the house.
Who are you gonna go see?
Dinah Crawl.
Right on.
Yeah.
Did you do the? You were gonna go see somebody.
Oh, Gary Newman.
No, wasn't there someone else you were gonna go see? I thought there was somebody else.
Passed.
David, were you gonna go see George Thorogood?
You mentioned it last week.
Oh yeah, I did. I went to see George Thorogood last week.
And
well, yeah, it was okay. Like he was a bit rusty starting off. It was a very short show. He hit the stage at like 8 o'clock and he was done by 20 after 9.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really short. So it's like, okay, well, but
yeah.
He was a bit rocky getting going. Like it took about 15 minutes to get going, and then the show got going. It was good. But it was just like, whatever you expect him to play is basically what he played. What do you do in an hour and 10 minutes, right? So,
did you track him down and get him to sign something?
I tried the band. I tracked down the band. They were super nice dudes, but George was he was a ghost. So no luck.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody tuning in.
Welcome.
Glenn and Trevor and Richard saying 400,000 feet of snow is 75 miles deep. So there you go.
It feels like it, Richard. It feels like it.
Where's Diana Krall playing?
NAC. So the super nice theater here.
Sure. Nice.
Yeah.
Glenn wants to know where the guy with the kiss pillow is. Thinking about Joe. Joe has gone on and gone to do other things on YouTube. He's doing his game show and that kind of thing. So he just kind of wanted to change pace. So we wish him the best, and he's doing his thing now, and it's all good. So. Curtis, how you doing? Curtis, I think you're
Curtis.
going, but I don't know if you saw the announcement today. April 17th, the Adam Baldwin Lighthouse in Little Lorraine movie is going to be in theaters across Canada. Not every theater, but select theaters. So they're doing like a screening out where Curtis is. So and they're doing one in Toronto, but I just saw the announcement today that it's going to be nationwide. I think it's Cineplex. So
What is this?
So, I always rave about Adam Baldwin and his
Yeah.
concertos and serenades. There's a song in there called The Lighthouse in Little Lorraine, which is a urban legend that Adam wrote a song about, where allegedly drug runners were bringing cocaine in caskets up from Boston and they were transferring them, out in the ocean and whatever. So Adam wrote a song about it, and then in turn, someone made a feature-length movie about it was at TIFF. And there's been select screenings, but it hasn't seen a widespread release. So apparently it's coming to Cineplex.
Oh, that'd be good.
Cool.
Will I be able to catch a screening? I'm not going to go to like the special Toronto screening, but once it hits theaters later this month, if it's anywhere within an hour, absolutely I'm going to go for sure. Yes, Chris Mann would want to see that. I'm sure it'll find a streaming home at some point in time. So, yeah. Anything else exciting to talk about? The Jays won today.
Hey, it's about time.
Yeah.
Good Lord, what a start, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
You must be ready to fire Mr. Little. He's terrible. Every single time I see him on the highlights, it's like, why bother?
Well, he's in Buffalo, and hopefully we never see him again. I mean, we gave him too many chances last year, and then we give him more chances this year. The other guy that I hate with a passion is Jeff Hoffman. We brought him in tonight with a 1-run lead in the 9th, and he got 2 base runners on, and I thought, oh, shit, here we go. We hung on. It shouldn't be that close. He's a terrible closer. But yeah.
What did you think? What did you think of Schneider's complete meltdown over the balk yesterday?
I think that had very little to do with the balk. I think that was just him being pissed off, and it was an excuse for him just to blow off some steam and get his guys excited. That's what I think. That
guy's gonna have a flipping, like his veins are gonna blow up in his head. Like,
I know.
That was terrible.
It worked though. They won today. He did fire them up.
We barely won though. I mean, nobody's hitting. That's the damn problem.
Yeah.
Nobody's hitting, and everybody's hurt.
On another positive sporting note, I got 5 more games left to go and never have to hear about the Leafs until October again. They're so abysmal this year. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's been disappointing, that's for sure, to say the least.
At this point, I'd rather cheer for Vancouver, because at least Vancouver can honestly say they're bad. The Leafs have good players, but just are bad.
Who would have known that Mitch Marner was the linchpin of the entire organization?
How about wear this?
I'm actually amazed that he hasn't gone crying now that Tortorella is the coach.
Yeah.
Are they in a playoff position?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They're doing reasonably well.
Maybe they'll win a cup.
I don't think they'll make it far, but they'll make the playoffs. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't have any more music news to talk about. Should we just jump into what we're doing tonight?
Sure.
All right. So
yes,
this came up. This was kind of Tim's idea, and then I sort of simplified it because I don't have mental capacity for much these days. But basically, was kind of based off like a card game, drinking game kind of thing, and we simplified it. And I'm just going to share my screen here for but a moment. We came up with like the wheel o' randomness. These were just a bunch of random topics that we have come up with. And what we're going to do is for each person's turn, we're going to give the wheel a little spin, and whatever it lands on, you go pull that record, whatever you think would fit that category. So hold on here. Have I ever talked about all those Telecasters? I have in a video a very, very long time ago, like 3 years ago on my channel. There's 7 Telecasters behind me there. The white one is not in the video that I did about my Telecaster because I just built that one a few months ago. So some of these I built, some of them are actual Fenders, but maybe I'll do an updated guitar video one of these days. I love Telecasters. I have other guitars here too. There's a Jazz Mastered, an ES335, a couple Strats, a Les Paul, and I'm a very average guitar player at best.
So a footnote, like where did you learn that trade? Like building, did you just take parts of guitars and like, you know, build your own like pickups and things like that? Or do you do the carpentry?
I guess build is kind of a loose term. So what I would do is I would buy the neck and the body unfinished, like raw, you know, like
yeah,
formed into a body, but it's, you know, it needs sanded and stained and lacquered and all that kind of thing. And for almost 20 years, I had a job in the woodworking industry, which I still do, but I worked for a wood coatings manufacturer. So we made guitar lacquer, and I'm no stranger to a spray booth. So I would take them and I'd finish them and lacquer them and spray them and buff them and do all that kind of thing. And then I'd buy all the components and I would do all the wiring and the assembly, and all of the ones that I made have my name on the headstock rather than an actual Fender logo. So
that's pretty fun.
Just kind of a fun thing to do. So yeah. I don't do it anymore because I don't work for the paint manufacturer anymore. And it was just too time consuming and too expensive. And I honestly have way too many guitars, so I don't need any more. So,
yeah, I had to get rid of a few.
Yeah. I still play them, but
yeah,
I don't necessarily play every day because there's just, yeah.
So, what's your go-to song you play, Rob?
Oh, geez. There's a ton of them. I like a lot of Blue Rodeo songs, which may come as a giant surprise to nobody. Trevor's asking, did those guitar parts come from my neighborhood? Yes. So Trevor's out in Washington, and there's this really great guitar builder, and I'm going to pronounce the name wrong. Puyallup, Washington, I think, is how it's pronounced. There's this great builder called Warmoth Guitars, and they specialize in making aftermarket necks and bodies, and I bought most of my necks and bodies from those guys. So yeah, the short history of my guitars. So there's the black one right there I built, the white one I built, and then that one's a walnut one, which one of my employees gifted me the body, and then I built it. And then that one there, which is a spalted maple Telecaster, the body was from some builder in Quebec. So built is kind of a loose term. Could I do the woodworking on it? Yeah, I probably could. I just don't have all the tools to do it well. So it's pronounced Puyallup. Okay, I was close. Not too far off. Scott's joining us. How you doing, my friend? Welcome. All right, let's get into the wheel of magic. It's Chris is our guest, so I'm going to pop this on my screen. We'll give it a spin, and we'll see what comes up. All right, you got something from Record Store Day you can go pull?
This is me?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
And what we'll do is
I was gonna say, Rob, do you want to pull Tim's as well so he can do it?
I was just gonna suggest that. So Tim, I'm gonna give this a mad spin.
I'm next. Okay. All right. Just to get a buffer going, eh?
Yeah. Well,
look at that. Okay.
No, we're good. You know what?
Okay.
Should we remove it because we've already?
Yeah, you got to remove it.
Let's remove it.
Okay.
All right. Do it again.
wanker.
A wanker.
Oh man. Okay.
Krista Berg.
No, let's not mention him anymore. Actually, I got it.
Okay. All right. Chris, take it away, man. What do you got to show us there?
So I have this is from this or last year's record store day. This is I've shown this on my channel, so Rob, you guys probably see it. This is Big Wreck. This is an album called Albatross, and the album was released in 2012. This is, I find it funny because it says it's the anniversary edition, but the album came out in 2012, and this was for 2025 Record Store Day, so it's like the 13-year anniversary, which is really weird. But these guys were the Canadian ambassadors for the 2025 Record Store Day, and they actually have. I know it's funny. Joe was a big is a big Big Wreck fan.
Yeah,
And, I love Big Wreck. I've seen them a couple times, and they don't have a lot of their albums on vinyl, and so I was quick to get this when it came out. So this has got the entire album, and then it's got a bunch of like there's 3 or 4 live tracks, and then there's one like never before released like hidden track. It's on this like gray and black. Yeah, it looks really nice. Sounds very nice, and I mean it's got a hidden track on it, and then a couple of live versions. And I think if you're a fan of the album and you're a fan of like some extra features, it's definitely worth the purchase. It says that it is limited to 2,500, but according to Discogs, there's not a lot of people who have it on. They have it cataloged, so I don't know if there's a whole bunch out there. But I was reading in the reviews, and a lot of people were like, "What? How come these are hard to find and there's barely anyone?" Like, it seems like they didn't fully release them all. I don't know what the deal is, but anyways, that's a good one.
I like it.
Yeah, that song that song. I was gonna say the song that song is a really good track from, but it's not on there. That's what that was from.
That's
from
their
80s,
debut.
I think, eh?
Yeah, that was their debut. That one's
Is that on vinyl?
So it is, but it's funny. I was talking about it because I know Joe has it on vinyl. So they've released their debut on vinyl twice, and it's it was released in that album was released in '97. So it's like the CD age. So it's I think they wanted to fit it all on one disc, so they removed like 3 songs from the vinyl version, and then they re-released it, and they still didn't get it right. There were still a couple songs missing from it. So yeah, there it is right there. Yeah. So it kind of doesn't make sense. It's like just do a 3-sided album if you have to fit it all on one package, but it doesn't really, I don't know. It's kind of annoying. It's like you want them to get it right if they're going to do it.
Be a prime opportunity to put an etching on that 4th side because everybody loves those.
I mean, the thing is, you can't like people. So I've seen where there's like there's a 3-sided album, and then there's an etching, and then people complain because you're like, well, etchings are stupid and it's unnecessary. But then I've seen where they try to fit like 50 minutes of material on one disc, and then people complain that it sounds flat and it's not good, and so you can't really win. But just release the album as it was released originally, and I think that's a good way to go.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm with you. All right, before Tim shows his, we're going to spin the wheel for Daryl here. Let's see what we come up with.
Richard, I'm not sure your question there about Canadian Record Store Day. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it.
Album you have multiple copies of, Daryl.
Okay.
Go back here, and then we'll supersize Tim.
All right. So this one, it's still out. I didn't even put it away yet. So a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't make the stream because I went to see this guy. Now, this guy's not a musician, but he's got a record. And that would be David Suzuki.
Nice.
So,
Yep.
for those, I'm assuming all you fellow, your American viewers will know who David Suzuki is. I don't know. Is he a global, or is he?
I
more
don't think
Canadian?
so. More of a Canadian, because I think Richard was asking who it was. I think somebody was. He's a very
like
famous Canadian environmentalist. I
yeah,
guess.
very. He kind of advocated the whole, healthier planet. Did this the nature of things, right, on CBC.
CBC. Yeah.
Where he talked about everything, anything and everything, right? And anyway, so this guy, he's huge in Canada. Anyway, so this guy, and you have a story because you know people within his immediate family.
I know some of his family.
Okay, so I go to the thing. He talks for like 90 minutes or something like that. It's over, and there's a lineup to sign his book. So I go to the back, and I let everybody do their thing, get their moment, and I give him this to sign. And he signs it. He's like, "Oh, you don't see this very often." And I'm like, No, I've had this since I was a kid. And his wife was actually more intrigued. Like, she was asking me questions and where I got it. And he was just kind of signing it and pushed me aside. And then I'm like, and then I said, "Oh, David, I'd love a picture with you. I've read, like, I'm a big fan." And he's like, "You didn't even buy my book."
I bought a ticket to your show, jackass.
Yeah, I just saw him. I'm like, "You didn't buy," I'm like, "No," but I read, there's 2 other books by him I read. Naked Ape to Super Species, and then there was this other one that I read. And I'm like, "No, I read this book," and I was telling him, like, he's like, "Well, but you didn't buy a book." Why would I take a... Anyway, I broke the guy that was working merch for him, broke him down.
Oh yeah, so you got a picture?
So I got a picture. Like, he looks super friendly in it, but don't... it doesn't, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he made a big, "You didn't buy my book," and yeah, I forget what else. He said something else that was like, "Whoa." But he kind of shook his head and like, all right.
Maybe he was like 1 copy away from a bestseller, and he was just trying to get,
Yeah, he wanted me to cut down more trees.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we should have said to him. David, that's a very non-environmental stance there.
Well, he apparently doesn't preach what he practices what he preaches. Like, from my buddy of mine.
You should have looked at him and said, "Hey, if you're willing to, I'll buy your ebook."
There you go.
For all he knows, I could have bought it before.
Yeah, you could have said, I got it on an audiobook.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
I mean, you have his album. What more? Like,
I know. His wife was like super nice. Like,
yeah.
Where did you get it? And like, do you still have the, like, there's an activity sheet in here?
Yeah.
Where you can, like, and you learn about each track. You learn about something, and you follow along, and you do the activity. And she's asking me about that, and she was awesome.
I mean, clearly you're a fan if you have this. I mean, you went to the show and you have the album.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter to him. I didn't buy a book. I didn't drop the $25 for a...
Yeah, he needs to get paid now.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wanker.
You should have seen. He just kind of...
So he's a newly appointed wanker then.
Yeah, he's a new one.
I've heard things. I mean, I know a couple. I used to know a couple people, family members of his, that said he was kind of a dick. So
yeah.
Once a dick, always a dick, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to spin the wheel for myself here while Daryl gets ready to go and see what I come up with here. Come on, Glass Tiger. Oh, good God. Okay. This is one of Daryl's. This is a hard one. Okay. Must be the last name starting with IJQ. Okay. All right. Of course, I get that one. And we'll go here. And then we'll supersize Daryl, and I'll go see if I can figure this one out.
Daryl, remind us what.
Right.
what
So
you were
mine was an album that I have multiple copies of.
That's right. Yes.
So I have 2 copies of this album, and it's actually an album from my location. So it's an album that you're probably not going to see in too many places. I actually had an opportunity to buy a 3rd copy of this, but unfortunately somebody had already bought it. Now, these copies that I have, I got for free. I got one of them at a yard sale, and I got one of them elsewhere. And I showed this album on the albums that are worth the most monetarily in my collection. And I can state that according to Discogs, the median value of this album is 150 Canadian dollars. I have 2 of them. I got both of them for free. So I'm actually up $300 on these albums. And it's an album called the Goose Wings Songs of James Bay Region. So basically the album is just local people. I think it's from like 1982 or 1983. But yeah, it's all just local Cree musicians. And so that's the one copy. This one is actually in I would almost argue mint condition, minus maybe a ring wear. And I have the second one. So 2 copies of this. And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm not into like monetary value. I don't care. It's about listening to the music is the way that I look at it. But if I ever got hard up for cash or something like that, I mean, realistically, they're so rare that I think I could probably get $300 for those. And like I said, I was at an antique shop. It's not an antique shop. It's like maybe like an antique thrift shop in Timmins. And the guy had it on sale. Not on sale, but all his records are like 50 cents or $1. And he had sold it to a guy from further north where I am, but the guy forgot it in the store. But he wouldn't sell me the copy because he was hoping the guy would come back and get his record that he bought. And sure enough, a week later, apparently the guy came back and got it. So I could have had 3 copies of that. And you're not going to find it in too many record stores in Canada, I'm pretty sure. So it's not only a rare one, but it's actually it's unique. It celebrates the people and the music up here. So I thought it would be cool to show that one.
I like it. I distinctly remember that cover from when you showed it before. So
Yeah, I remember that too.
Okay. It's my turn, but before we do that, we're going to spin the wheel here for Chris. So let's just give this a little spin and see what comes up. You're not going to get the letter X, so that's good. Colored vinyl.
Okay. Colored vinyl.
What you doing? Okay. So I got show the last name that starts with either I, J, Q, X, Y, something. I have a letter I. This is the only one that I have that would fit in the criteria. So Natalie Imbruglia, Left of the Middle. I mean, everyone knows this for the monster hit that she had in 1997. Her cover of the song "Torn" was, arguably one of the biggest one-hit wonders of the 1990s. It was actually an interesting story. It was originally recorded by a band, I think they're American, called Edna's Swap, I think, or Edna's Snap. Edna's Swap, I think is what they were called. And so they did it, and it's a little more of a rock song, and it did nothing. And then one of the guys from that band that co-wrote it produced this album and said, you should cover it. So she did, and it went on to be one of the biggest hits of the 90s. So, surprising the rest of the album's, pretty good. She had a couple other big hits. She's still out there singing and performing, and she's in her 40s and hot as hell. So she has done well over the years. So that's my letter I. There we go.
Yeah. Right on.
Right. And before we get Chris up here, we're going to give this a little magic spin for Tim and see what we get here. An album cover that seems cool to you but uncool to most.
That's a tough one.
All right, Chris, what do you got?
Okay, so mine is colored vinyl, and I will show an album that I haven't shown in a very long time on my channel. And the album is Jane's Addiction. This is Ritual Delo Habitual, the 2017 anniversary tour. So this was a gift my sister and brother-in-law gave me for my birthday years ago. And this is on, they call it the purple and blue haze splatter vinyl. Very nice blue and purple vinyl. This is a double disc. So this was the anniversary tour for Ritual Delo Habitual, which I think came out in like 1991. I'm not the hugest Jane's Addiction fan, but I do know many of their hits. Been Caught Stealin's on this one, the Mountain Song, and then also they have, I think, Side D has some live tracks, and they've got the song Just Because on there, which is was always a favorite of mine when I was growing up. It came out when I was, I don't know, in elementary school or high school, and I really enjoy that one. So I always think that splatter vinyl is pretty interesting, cool splatter vinyl. So some
one of the cooler splatters I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so when you think of splatter vinyl, oftentimes it's like black and white splatter or whatever it is. It's not a lot of variant, but that one's really cool, like purple and blue, and that one's neat.
Yeah, really interesting. It was the first one I thought of. So
yeah,
Richard's saying he's been to see Jane's Addiction a couple times.
Every time I think Jane's Addiction, is it Been Caught Stealing that has the barking dog at the beginning?
Yeah, the dogs.
Every time I hear them, that's the one song.
Tim's having trouble finding a record. Wasn't this one of the ones he thought of? I think this was one of his.
Oh no, that was one of the ones I thought.
Oh, that was yours? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't come up with it because I'm not sure that I could have had one. So
this is the inaugural fun spin wheel episode.
Yeah, it was the first time we've ever done it. Who knows? Maybe it's going well. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But we figured we'd try something different.
Yeah,
I think it's going well. Tim's at a standstill.
Tim's just tearing his record room apart.
Well, you could spin for the next one.
It's going to be like he's.
I could spin for the next one. Why don't we spin? We'll spin for Daryl while we're waiting for Tim. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Let me just hit the magic button here. Here we go, Daryl.
How many were on this wheel? How many in total, Rob?
52.
52, yeah.
Same as a deck of playing cards.
Okay.
Well, there's an easy one. A 70s record.
It is an easy one. I'll go with the 70s one, hopefully, that I haven't shown before.
Tim's still looking. There he is in the background. What the hell am I going to show?
Yeah, I'm show a K-Tel record.
Yeah, there you go.
Here, I'm just going to go random. It's so subjective.
Of course. There's no wrong answers here.
Here we go. All right. Just anything, right? Sorry, guys. It's so subjective. Good, it's not anything cool. This is really random. just to show something. Here we go.
There you go.
Just because it's signed and it had a cool story to it.
Of course.
Nice.
Yeah. It was just funny because, yeah, when I got this sign, Brad asked me if I wanted to run. He's like, "Do you want a toke?" So it's kind of cool.
It's a good story.
And I would have actually. I kind of almost would have, but it was kind of like right after COVID. So I'm like, no, I'm not. Sorry, man. But
Yeah.
like in hindsight, I should have just,
Yeah.
So he was just smoking up, and we were just chatting. But yeah, it was pretty cool of him to offer.
Is he a good dude? Because I just I
he's
see him in
crazy cool.
interviews and stuff, and I look at it and go, he's either really cool or he's a pretentious dick. I couldn't decide.
He's quirky, but he's a good guy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I know, very anticlimactic, but not the coolest record, but
I still need to get that one. I've got the one after that, which was
apparently it's kind of hard to find now, from what I've heard.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one that has
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got the other one because I really love Superman's song.
Well, that's a great album too. And they did a cover of a is it the Replacements? They did a Replacements cover. It was pretty good too.
I think so. Yeah.
It was good. That's a great album too.
Yeah. I've seen that one a couple times, but didn't pick it up because I picked up something else instead. And
if you see it, grab it because I guess allegedly they're harder to find now.
Okay. Well,
and you can't really go wrong. Well, the A sides are awesome. The B sides aren't as strong, but yeah, no.
It was another big hit off that record, wasn't there?
Afternoons and Coffee Spoons.
Yes.
In the Days of the Caveman.
Right.
God Shuffled His Feet.
Right. Yeah. Daryl's having a hard time finding a 70s record, apparently.
Oh man, that's a lot easier.
I wanted to try to find a record I haven't shown before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna move Daryl here. We're gonna give myself a little spin here. Let's see what I can find. OG First Press. All right. That's easy. I have tons. Okay. Take it away, Daryl.
Okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying I don't know if this exact copy was released in the 70s, but it's a 70s band for sure. And Chris Mann would like this one because it's a compilation. And to be quite honest with you, I think that this compilation might be the only record I need by this band. And it's the Steve Miller's Greatest Hits 1974 to 78. So I'm not sure. I'd have to look. I don't know if it was actually released in the 70s, but I mean, this has basically everything that you kind of need by these guys. Jungle Love, Take the Money and Run, Serenade, Rockin' Me, The Joker, Fly Like an Eagle, Jet Airliner. It's all on there.
Yeah.
And I mean, for whatever reason, when I was in university, we used to go to this pub, this bar, just down the street from the house that I was living in. And they had a jukebox with all kinds of 45s in it. And there was this guy that used to always show up at the bar and play pool, and his favorite song was The Joker. And the funny thing was that he put the coin in and all that, and then all of a sudden it would come on, and then he would sing, "Some people call me the Space Cowboy," and he would just sing it out loud while we're all playing pool. And we used to get a good laugh out of this guy because he was trying to act cool, but he wasn't cool singing the song. So it's kind of a story from my university days. But I mean, like I said, I mean, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. I know Steve Miller, I think if I remember right, he was really reluctant when they inducted them. He didn't didn't show much interest in wanting to be at the induction ceremony and stuff. I think he kind of had that mentality that what makes him and his band so special that isn't so special in other bands. So yeah, I mean, I don't listen to Steve Miller too often, but I think that I think this greatest hits compilation is one of the better ones that's out there. You know, I have Abracadabra, actually, the album. Do I need anything else after that? I don't think so personally, but just I would say that that's good car driving music too, Steve Miller.
Speaking of wankers, though, he's another one.
Yeah.
A few comments here. Scott is saying, I like Son of Dave, the guy from CDT. And Richard is saying, pretty sure that was released in the late 70s. Wish they did a 2 LP with full-length tracks.
Yeah.
Steve Miller's dad was a huge jazz guy, and Steve grew up with various greats hanging around their house. Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. So he's a wanker, is he?
Yeah, so a buddy of mine went to Kingston to see his show. This is like a year ago, maybe 2 years most. He went up to Kingston to see him at the K Rock, whatever, where it is in Kingston. Just him. He was the only one waiting for him. He waited for him to get to he got off the bus and he was waiting for him to go in the venue. And he's like, "Oh, have a great show, Steve. Would you mind?" He had one album, and he didn't say "fuck you." He didn't look at him. He just walked right by him.
What a dick.
And then he had front row seats to the show, and he kept looking at him and whatever. And then so he didn't sign. And then he has a buddy in Toronto who I guess kind of he has his way in and out and around. And I guess he signed for people at his hotel in Toronto that same night. But he wouldn't sign for him at the venue who paid a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
A little wankerish.
Yeah.
You got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall on this day in 2016, same year as Cheap Trick. How you doing, Emma?
Hi, Emma.
Going to do your contest next week for sure. Apparently, Les Paul is his godfather. Right on.
Wow.
Boz Scaggs was in the early formation of the Steve Miller Band. I did not know that.
That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've pulled my record, but before I go into it, we're going to spin the wheel for Chris and get him a topic to go pull. So here we go. An album that your spouse likes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I got OG. Show an OG first pressing.
Sweet.
Harder than I thought. I mean, I have a lot, but most of them you're kind of like, who gives a shit? Maybe all of them you might say, who gives a shit? So, to that end, I went this route. From the 90s, I have an OG first pressing of Oasis Be Here Now, their third album. The original first pressings on Creation Records are, at least in North America, hard to find. I guess they're much easier to find in the UK, but they're expensive. I would really love a first pressing of Definitely Maybe. I would really love a first pressing of What's the Story, Morning Glory. I don't know that that's ever going to happen, but this is a first pressing of Be Here Now. I do like this album. I have the deluxe, or not the deluxe, just the standard reissue as well. The cover art, it's a, the newer ones are glossy. The original ones are kind of like a matte finish, but they sound really good. But I am by no means an audiophile. But because this was kind of this was my band back in the 90s. I just wish I had the first pressing of the first three albums. That would just be spectacular. But, anytime you see like on eBay or whatever, obviously eBay prices are overinflated, but I'm not in England. So that's sort of my only route. Whenever you see the first pressings of What's the Story and Definitely Maybe, they're like $400 or whatever. By the time you convert it to Canadian, get it over here, that's just ridiculous. So I did buy this on eBay, but I bought this on eBay probably 20 years ago. So it wasn't very expensive back then. Thank goodness that I did. So at least I've got one of their big three as an OG.
You've got quite the Beatles first pressings, don't you?
I do. I mean,
yeah.
So I could have done that, but I'm kind of like,
yeah. Or your Rodriguez there.
Well, I thought about it, but I've shown Rodriguez way too much. Yeah, so for the Beatles, I have original first pressings, mono and stereo of all of the Canadian albums. And then I have most of the first pressings for the UK ones. My Please Please Me is the third pressing, but I thought about doing that, but I'm like, that's boring. So there you go. Chris is back. Before Chris goes, we will spin the wheel for Tim here and see what we get. Ooh. All killer, no filler.
All right.
Is that doable?
It's a good topic.
All right.
So, okay, an album that my spouse likes, I was looking through there, and there were a lot actually, because my wife she has a really good taste in music, and it's one of the things that I always liked about her, even when I first met her. But there were a handful of albums that I almost pulled, but then I was like, well, those are her albums, so of course she likes them because she's got a collection too mixed in. So I picked one of mine that she liked, and the album that I picked is Johnny Winter, Still Alive and Well. This is from, I think, 72 or 73. It's his probably fourth album, I think. And it's got Rick Derringer. I think that's Rick Derringer. I think that's Rick Derringer, yeah. And he was on this. He collaborated with Johnny Winter. And Johnny Winter, a really great guitarist. One of the guys that I've really started to appreciate a lot more in the last few years for his guitar playing abilities. But yeah, this is one of the albums that I've had for a few years, and my wife would often pull it, and then I was like, after the half a dozenth time that she pulled, I was like, oh, you really like this album, don't you? And she's like, yeah, I do. She likes the gravelly voice of Johnny Winter, and she likes his guitar playing. So could be a lot worse, that's for sure.
Very cool. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one.
I don't think that's ever been shown on here before.
I don't think so.
No, that's a good pick.
Great.
That's a good pick. Just a couple comments. EMI was still responsible for Beatles releases in Canada, right? Yeah, capital EMI Canada. Yep. The first three are different than the American ones. They're the same as the UK ones. So that might be a way for me to finally get those mono mixes. Yeah, and they're relatively easy to find up here. So, okay. You got something there, Tim?
I do.
Okay, let me give the wheel a spin for Daryl here.
I was thinking about doing a twofer, but I don't have to.
Yeah, go for it.
One is just an obvious pick, and one is just a personal pick.
Okay. An album with a perfect side and a meh side. Okay, there, Daryl. You got your work cut out for you. All right, Tim, what you got?
So here's kind of a personal pick. I don't know how many people follow or know, like, people know this band, but they only probably know them for their one hit song from the 80s. But this album is freaking awesome, and it's Till Tuesday. It's the one that followed the Voices Carry one. If you like that late 80s into early 90s more rockish poppy sound, this record's awesome. I mean, it's not for, if you don't like the 80s and 90s, then it's probably not for you, but Amy Mann is incredible songwriter, and she did very well for herself for her solo career. Her solo career is pretty solid too. There's not much bad out there. But a more obvious choice that's probably from front to back, not a bad song, and could probably play the whole thing through very easily, is this album. Like how every track here is insane.
And of course yours is signed, because everyone has signed Elton John records.
I actually have his autograph. He used to sign from the stage. So I actually have 2 things signed by him. So this one I got signed in Kingston, which was historically kind of a shit show.
Hold on a second. Elton John played Kingston.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks he's a little too big to be playing Kingston?
Well, he is, but he did it. I think his husband is from.
Oh,
sort of
yeah. I think he's around that area,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So this is funny. I'm the only one that had any I knew ahead of maybe I'm sure some people knew, but I knew ahead of time that he does. If you're close enough, he signs from the stage. So I'm the only one that actually brought anything into the venue. So I'm holding this up, like just getting his attention. He signs it, and it's near the end of the show. At the end of the show, oh my God! So these guys they jumped up onto the stage, started banging away at his piano, like when the lights come on and stuff. And it's like, I'm like, is this like, are we being punked here? Like, what's going on? And like security, it took security a couple of minutes to figure out what was going on. But people were jumping the stage, banging his piano, and I'm like, fuck, okay. So I kind of just snuck up, jumped on the stage. I grabbed one of Davy Johnston's guitar picks, and immediately jumped down. So I ran away with a signed album and a Davy Johnston guitar pick.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love your stories, man. They're great.
But yeah, that Kingston show was a gong show. And it's funny because a friend of mine knows someone who is front row from that. So he wouldn't just maybe 10 feet down from me. And he's like, yeah, that show was crazy. There was people jumping up on stage. And I'm like, I might have been one of them. Yeah, it's funny. It's a small world.
Richard's excited. He's never seen that Till Tuesday album before.
Oh no, it's really good. If you like Till Tuesday, you have to check it out. You have to. It's called Everything is Different Now. Everything's different now. Check this out. It's insanely good. It's better than the one that preceded it.
Cool. All right. Before Daryl takes his turn here, I'm gonna spin the wheel for myself and see what I come up with. A glossy album cover. Okay. Oh, I got one. I already know what I'm going to do. All right. That's easy. All right. Let me just take it away, Daryl.
Okay. So an album that has one good side and a mess side. All right. So this is a Canadian band, and I am not saying that this album is a bad album because I actually like this album from start to finish, but I definitely think that side 1 of this album is vastly superior to side B, and that is the self-titled Honeymoon Suite album. I think side 1, I would find it hard for any Canadian that knows this album to deny that, right? So side 1, if you're familiar with Honeymoon Suite, has New Girl Now, Burning in Love, Wave Babies, Stay in the Light, and Now That You Got Me. It's a perfect side 1. But then side 2 has songs that nobody has ever heard of. Funny Business, Heart on Fire, Turn My Head, It's Your Heart, and Face to Face. Like, nobody knows those Honeymoon Suite songs. So to me, this is the one. I've shown this album before. I actually have 2 copies of this one as well. But I mean, these guys are great. These guys are great. They fit that mold of Canadian rock bands from the late 70s and early 80s that were just overshadowed by everybody else, right? And actually the other thing is I mean, how many bands famous bands can you say come from Niagara Falls? I think that these guys might be one of the only ones.
Probably the only
Which
one.
I think that might be how they got their name too, is just like all those fancy hotels in Niagara Falls, the honeymoon suite type deal. I think that might be how it came about. I'm not sure, but
I don't know
Richard agrees.
I don't know at the time that they were too fancy, but there were definitely a lot of honeymoon suites in Niagara Falls with heart-shaped jacuzzi tubs and mirrors.
Does anybody remember that video game from the 80s, Leisure Suit Larry?
Absolutely.
Oh my god!
Okay,
Yeah.
the very first Leisure Suit Larry, he gets tied up by some woman that he brings into this honeymoon suite, and it's on a heart-shaped bed. That every time I see this album, it reminds me of Leisure Suit Larry. This is hilarious. But anyway, one perfect side, one mess side. Honeymoon suite, self-titled.
Richard agrees with you. I agree with you too. I've got it, and I don't know if the first side's perfect, but it's pretty solid. And the second,
maybe the last track on side one, but the rest of it's really good.
It definitely, my interest wanes, drops off very quickly.
I don't even know the last time I listened to side B. It actually might be one of those albums where it's an album that you listen to one side and just don't even bother with the second one. I don't know.
Yep. Okay. Before I go, we will spin the wheel for Chris. Let me just hit the Spin-O-Matic 3000 over here. An album from a genre you typically dislike.
Okay.
All right. So I got glossy album cover. I think this is one Daryl came up with, I think. That's the first one I thought of. So this is glossy. It's very glossy. And signed. So that's what made me think of it. This is the Sadies, Northern Passages. I'm a big Sadies fan. Country rock band, I guess. Cosmic Cowboys from Toronto. I have seen these guys more times than I can shake a stick at, and I've met them countless times. This came out in 2017, and if I remember correctly, they were opening for Blue Rodeo on a tour, which, of course, I was at. And I bought the album at the show because I have everything that the Sadies put out. And they were doing signings, so I got it signed. So Travis signed it. Dallas is down there, Mike and Sean. And I was very nervous when I got this signed because this is very glossy. And I was afraid that the Sharpie would smudge before it dried. I was very worried about that. So I'm, making sure that it didn't get smudged or anything. And the band was also very careful about this when they were signing it to make sure that it didn't smudge. So it dried, and that's all good. And I'm thankful that I got this. This is actually, I think, the only signed album of theirs that I have, despite having met them many times, because a couple years after this, Dallas, whose autograph is right there, died unexpectedly of a heart attack. So it was the last time I ever actually got to see the Sadies play. So I guess we got to show the inside. There you go. So even the inside is very glossy. It's supposed to be like the Northern Lights. I think this is kind of like where Daryl lives over here, I think. Right, Daryl?
Yeah, I've seen the Northern Lights many, many a times.
I bet. So, yeah, glossy
that's
album.
actually what they do from a distance. It's kind of what they do look like, for sure.
Right on. Sadies, Northern Passages. Very glossy album cover from 2017.
All right. So
hold on one second. I'm just going to spin this for
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good, man. Here we go. All right, a 90s record, Tim.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got an album from a genre that I typically do not like. And the album that I am going to show this is from the country genre. This is Johnny Cash Sings the Songs That Made Him Famous. This is on the Sun label. And actually, I found this at a yard sale not too far from my house here. And I bought it for $4. And I'm not sure if it's an original or if it's an early reissue, but it is an early pressing either way, and so it's definitely a steal of a deal. I mean, I feel like Johnny Cash has kind of bridged the gap between sort of like country and rock, and I mean, he is country, but he also falls into many other genres, and like he had that cover album where he covered 9 Inch Nails and Soundgarden and everybody else, right? And so but this is all songs from him before he went over to the Columbia label, so this is really early Cash. And Johnny Cash always reminds me of my aunt who passed away about, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. She was my godmother, actually, and she loved karaoke. She loved Johnny Cash, and many times I sang Johnny Cash songs with her up at the. She would always have like a karaoke machine at family reunions, and so we would always sing songs. And there's a song on here that's called "I Still Miss Someone," and it always reminds me of her. So this was a nice find from the yard sale in the country genre.
You can absolutely not go wrong with Cash in the Tennessee too. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember when you showed that in your yard find video. I thought those old ones are just not around anymore. Lots of represses, but
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and it's definitely. I mean, it's not in like the disc itself is in pretty decent condition, but this it's definitely worn out. You can tell whoever owned it like smoked. It's very kind of like yellowy from age, so it's got the it looks old at least.
It has character.
It has character, exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes with those really, really old, like late 50s records, I mean, I've got a couple of them, and Daryl has one now too. I've got an OG of Richie Valens album, and it's not in the greatest shape in the world, and I don't care because I want it. I listen to it, but it's also, this is the original thing from 1950, whatever. Yeah. So who cares that it's got scratches on it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So this one came out in 58, I think. So it's somewhere around there.
Yeah. Awesome. Mark, how you doing? He says, I Still Miss Someone is a Cash favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Mark.
Record Hound, how you doing? If that Cash LP has an eccentric groove in the dead wax, it's OG.
An eccentric? What? I don't know.
What probably means concentric, I would imagine.
I don't know.
Who knows? Anyway, it's OG-ish.
Yeah.
At the very least. So that's a good one.
Yeah, it does have some concentric circles here.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. What's Mark saying? I'm the same, Rob. Old records with marks, even writing on the cover, exactly. And I've said this before. I don't care if someone's written their name on the record.
Yeah,
I think that adds.
I actually have a record that my grandfather's name and the date and the country that he bought it in when they were in Germany is on the back. The record is scratched to shit. I want to buy a new copy of the vinyl itself, but I will never ever get rid of the cover because I think like you say, Mark. It's connected to history,
right?
Yeah.
I kind of like that some of these things that I own had an entire life before I became their custodian. You know, I think we talked about, not the barn, we talked about guitars earlier because someone asked. The one you can never see that's behind me, my butterscotch telly, is 48 years old. I've only owned it for like 15, and it's well loved, and there's lots of buckle rash on it, and there's nicks and chips and dents, and I just go, somebody played the shit out of that for 30 years before I owned it. And
Yeah.
I just love that it had a life before I had it. So same with some of those records. So it adds,
Yeah, absolutely.
it adds something to the experience, I think. So, all right. Before Tim goes, we're going to spin the wheel for Daryl. Am I keeping the order right? I got that right still?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Let me know if I screw up because I'm notorious for not remembering whose turn it is. Why did I buy this? This one should be interesting.
Okay, I'm not gonna go with ABBA. I can't. That's too obvious.
All right, Tim.
Okay, 90s record. We're gonna go 1996, and there's not incredibly great album, but pretty staple for the 90s radio anyway. I kind of make a point to picking up music from my high school that I grew up at that point. And I got the Verve Pipe. You guys remember? You remember these guys?
You, yeah.
Yeah, the Freshmen. Yeah, great song.
I don't know that I've ever seen that on vinyl before.
Yeah, so it's a record store day release.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I know. I left the shrink on. I know. Yeah.
Grip it and rip it.
No, deal with it, Rob.
No.
Yeah. But it's got a cool little, they do it up nicely,
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, these guys are great. The album's not spectacular, but it's a good listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they still around doing anything?
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. No.
Yeah. Cool. Good one. Before Daryl goes, I'm gonna spin the spin-o-matic here. Hold on. Give me something interesting here. We know what's getting pulled today, boys. My favorite soundtrack. Here it comes.
I think I already know.
Oh yeah.
All right, let her rip there.
Okay, so why did I buy this album? So I can tell you right now why I bought this album. I bought it as kind of part of a. So there was a person, they've since closed down their shop. They were out of British Columbia, and they were on Etsy, and they were trying to get rid of all their records. They had like a spreadsheet. You could click on it and you could see all the albums that they had and the condition and the price and all that. And so the fact of the matter is that these and they had a flat shipping rate too. Like you could buy like 50 records and it was the same as buying one for the shipping. So I went, well, I might as well just buy like a ton. So this was a cheap record that I got. I'd never heard of them. And I was like, you know what? I'll just take a shot on this. And I haven't listened to this in a while because for me, it's just so obscure that I can't get through the whole first side before I get bored of it. It's just a really weird sound. So this band is described as a music project. And they're described as cold wave and synth pop out of Brooklyn, New York. And it's a 2011 press. And it's a band called Black Marble. And it's just called A Different Arrangement. And it's just I can't even explain the music. There's no lyrics, there's no vocals. It's just a straight up just weird electronic ambient cold synth pop sound. And I took a chance on it, and it is not for me. It is a very difficult listen, if you know what I'm saying. It's just I'm pretty sure that if you were in a super depressed mood or you were maybe in a just a weird mind frame, it might appeal to you, but it's just so beyond my spectrum of music listening that I can't listen to the first side in full. I can't. So why did I buy it? It was just part of a chance that I took on it, and it's shit in my opinion.
Can't win them all, man. Can't win them all. Okay. Before I go, we're going to spin the wheel for Chris. Artist or band from another continent, other than the one we live on. So,
Okay.
So I got favorite soundtrack. This is Grease too. I'm not actually going to show this as my favorite soundtrack because it's not my favorite soundtrack. But any chance I can get to show Grease 2, God damn it, I'm going to show Grease 2 because Michelle Pfeiffer singing "Cool Rider" is the sexiest thing that's ever been recorded. That's not my favorite soundtrack. My favorite soundtrack, if I can get the Obi off of here so you can see it better, is the soundtrack for That Thing You Do, which is the Tom Hanks movie about a fictitious one-hit wonder band called The Wonders. It takes place in Erie, Pennsylvania. It's set in the 60s. I think this album is outstanding because, much like the movie, it seems to be a very authentic, facsimile, if you will, of the 1960s. So the songs that are on here sound like songs from the 1960s. There's a couple girl group songs. There's a couple, guys in suits playing in a band kind of songs. It's very, very well done. The title track, That Thing You Do, was written by Adam Schleisinger. I can never pronounce it properly, from Fountains of Wayne, who died during COVID, but he was the guy that wrote the title track to this. Outstanding movie. It kind of did nothing back in the day, but kind of has a cult following nowadays. But if you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie. It's really, really good. Steve Zahn, Tom Everett Scott, Tom Hanks, Liv Tyler. Really, really good. Very 60s, sounding stuff. And I should show the record, actually, because the record looks very cool. The record is like transparent, clear splatter, which is kind of cool. So the movie came out in the 90s. I think late 90s, I believe, but 1996, but was not released on vinyl until 2023. So, just a couple comments before we get any further here. Richard's saying, Daryl, that Black Marble album sounds like something out there that Richard might like. He's going to stream it.
You might.
Mark's saying Black Marble have a song called A Great Design that I like. It does have lyrics, though. Richard thought I might pick Eddie and the Cruisers. I do love Eddie and the Cruisers, but definitely had to show Grease, too. I just saw the cassette single of That Thing You Do a couple hours ago. Wow, I didn't know there was a cassette single. Crazy. Got a hoof at home from work. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Before Chris goes, we're going to spin the wheel for Tim.
All right.
An artist who was solo and in a band. Okay, Chris, take it away.
All right, so I have an artist or band from a different continent. I am here in North America, for those of you that don't know. And obviously, there's lots to choose from. I have many different artists and bands from around the world, but I want to show something that maybe was a little less obvious or something that I haven't shown on my channel or on this this chat in ever. And the album I'm going to show is Girl School. And actually, I think I saw a topic on the wheel that this falls under. I hope I don't get that one because I would have liked to show this for that one for all girl group. But this is an all girl group. The album is called Hit and Run, and this is from I think 1981. Girl School was a female part of the new wave of British heavy metal. They were, I think, like children of Lemmy. Lemmy, I think, discovered them and really championed them. And so, but this is a good album. It's so this is their. I don't think it's their debut album. I think it's their second album. But I actually heard that this version that appeared in North America was actually a compilation of their first and second album together. They put all of the best songs onto the one album, and I think this is pretty solid actually. Really some really good tracks on here. Fast metal, Race with the Devil, which is a really nice cover of was it Judas Priest? No, sorry, Judas Priest covered it. It was originally by a band called Gun, which is this is a really cool version of that. And honestly, just solid from start to finish. Girl School, Hit and Run. From Britain, England, Europe, I should say. Europe.
Good one. All right. Before Tim goes, we're going to spin the wheel for Daryl here. A record from the 2010s.
Okay.
Is that doable?
We will see. We will see.
Okay. What you got there, Tim?
All right. So I got a threefer. No, it's not. You know, who are the obvious ones?
It's not Paul McCartney?
It's not Paul McCartney. It's not what's his name? Phil Collins. None of that.
Okay.
So in chronological order, this guy must have been trying real hard because he wasn't going anywhere until he went solo. So at first he started a band called The Hassles. Do you know who that is yet? That came out in 67, 68. In 70, or very early, I want to say 70, 71, he then came out with this band, Attila.
Oh, I know who it is. Yeah.
Now do you know who you're talking?
Yeah.
Now do you recognize that fellow there on the
nice stash there?
Nice stash, eh?
I should know who this is because someone's shown that before.
And then I might have a long time ago. And then that same year or the following year, he releases this.
Right. Yes.
So, Billy Joel.
Oh, and look who shows up. Just as you say the word Billy Joel every time.
It's like Beetlejuice, eh?
Oh my goodness. You just got to show a Billy Joel record and John shows up.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, I'm glad you're here, John.
And then that's funny. Murphy's
Tim,
Law.
where'd you find that Attila record?
What's that?
Where'd you find that Attila record?
Oh man, I've had that for easily a decade. Yeah, I don't remember if I found it in the wild or Discogs or something, but
How do you like it?
it's terrible. It sounds like crap too. It sounds terrible. It's a novelty record, really. Yeah. Oh, I can't even get. I can maybe get through the first song, but even that's a chore. Like, it's just, have you heard it?
No, I haven't, but I've seen it and I've heard about it.
It's like Led Zeppelin trying to he's like trying to do Led Zeppelin, but through keyboards. It's just really, it just sounds like it's just really bad. But it's cool to check out. It's just to see like how he kind of progressed. But yeah, I challenge you to listen more than 10 minutes of that record.
Okay.
Which album is that?
It's called Attila. It's Attila.
Attila.
So it's these two guys. So he's I think he's the drummer, and then he does the keyboards, and it's a mess of a record. It does not sound good. Yeah, there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just love that you show that and John shows up. That just made my night.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay. Before Daryl goes, I'm going to spin the wheel for me, and I'm going to take 30 seconds to run upstairs and say goodnight to my son. I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say. What do we got here? The 2000s record. Okay. That's kind of boring, but okay.
You didn't show us, Rob. You didn't show us the wheel, but that's all right.
Oh, let me respin it then, because that was a shitty spin. Hold on. Let's do that again, because I don't want to show a 2000s record. That's boring. Give me something interesting. Oh, shit. Okay, I got to think about this one. Okay. My first ever record. Okay.
Cool.
All right, take it away, Daryl. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
All right. So, anytime that I get to show these guys, you all know that it's one of my favorite bands. It's not Glass Tiger, and it's not Bruce Hornsby in the Range, but anytime that I can promote these guys, I will. So this is from 2017. So I got show a record from the 2010s. So this is actually a concept album, and I would argue that this band actually does. Some of the records are concept albums, and then others are just weird, and I just love these guys. Alternative band from the 90s mainly, and that is Primus. And this is a concept album that they did in 2017 called The Desaturating 7, which is, just reading about it, I had to refresh. It's based on a 1978 children's book that was called The Rainbow Goblins by an Italian author. And so basically what I'm reading is that Les Claypool, the bassist for Primus, he basically said he used to read that children's book to his kids, I think, when they were younger. And so he got the idea to do it as a concept album. It's really unique, and it's just based on different, I don't know if it's different chapters of the book or different sections of the book. So you can kind of see it here on the back, side 1, the valley, and then the 7, and then the track grade. It's different parts of the book. And then they kind of, each level of the concept is based on the different parts of the book. So it's a unique album. Definitely, if I were to be the person that's going to be like, here, where would I start with Primus? I wouldn't start here. This is just really weird, but I like it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to explain this, but it's got some really cool artwork for the inner sleeve there. That's a nice piece of artwork, and then it's got the lyrics with the rainbow on it. But even more funny about this, it's kind of funny that both Rob and I would actually have an album in the exact same session or the exact same video that has pretty much the exact same type of splatter on it.
Wow.
Very cool.
So it's the clear splatter. So yeah. So yeah, no, like I said, anytime I can show Primus, I don't have too many 2010 albums or anything like that in the collection, but there is another one that they did in the 2010s. It's the they redid the soundtrack to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I would love to get my hands on it. It's a little out of my price range at the moment, but it's really cool. It's got like a gold record and just neat stuff. So yeah, Primus, a little bit weird, but still one of my favorite bands of all time.
Cool.
Can ever get this together.
Couple comments. Record Hound is saying, if you have a backtrack reissue of Attila, it sucks. I have an OG Epic, and it's actually good, considering it was amped organ same time as Deep Purple. Okay. All right. Before I take my turn, we'll put me here, and we'll spin the wheel for Chris. A record from your favorite artist or band. I was hoping Daryl or I would get this so we could see some Glass Tiger or some Blue Rodeo. It is what it is. Okay. So I got the first record I ever, like my first record. And I'm not 100% certain because when I started getting into records when I was 14, 15. A lot of it was just, me listening to stuff from Dad's collection. And when I first started buying records, they would sit on the record shelf with Dad's, and I liberated some of his. And then ultimately, when I went off to university, I took all his Beatles records with his permission, of course. So I'm trying to think, like, what was the first vinyl record that I bought? And I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I think if this isn't the first, it's one of the first. This is a Canadian OG first pressing mono of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper, because the Beatles was the first band I got into as a teenager. And I distinctly remember one of the first record stores that Dad and I went to. There was a place on, I think it was the Lakeshore in Oakville. I think there was a place called Peter Dunn's Vinyl Museum. And it was the craziest record store. There was shit everywhere, and it was hard to find things. But that was one of the first times I recall going record shopping with my dad. And the first time I went there, they had an OG first pressing of Sgt. Pepper, and I bought it for a ridiculously cheap price because this is like 1994 when nobody gave a crap. So, I mean, this is in pretty darn good shape because it's hard to see, but there's not even ring wear on this cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's in great shape. The inserts in there, the record's in good shape. It's in the it's in the original sleeve, so spine's in good shape. So I wasn't necessarily buying it for condition back in 1994. I was just like, hey, there's an original Sgt. Pepper. I don't have Sgt. Pepper, so I'm going to buy Sgt. Pepper because I loved the album. So I think this was, if not the first album the first record. I had CDs and stuff that I had purchased. But I think this is one of the very first actual vinyl albums that I purchased. So, yes, it was incredible. Sorely missed now. You could spend all day in that place because it was chaos. It was just absolutely stuff everywhere, but one of the best records. All right. Before Chris takes his turn, we'll spin the wheel for Tim. There we go. An album you cherish. Okay. Take it away, Chris.
All right, so my topic is album from my favorite artist. I will show you my favorite album from my favorite artist, which is "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. So this is actually this is the 50th anniversary box set that my wife got me for my birthday, which was back in February. And you might be thinking, but it's still in the shrink. You haven't opened it yet. So actually, she got me the box set, and I opened it up, and it was like it came. She ordered it off of Amazon, and it came in like just like a clear plastic bag. That's all it was. And so I was so excited to get it, but I opened it up and then started to notice that like, oh, there's a ding here, and then you'll see. I was noticing there was like X-Acto knife like marks in it, and it was really like the closer you looked, the more in bad condition it was. And so I was kind of blind to it because I was just like, oh, I want to listen to it and then all this. And then like the next day I said to my wife, I was like, you know what, I think we need to take this back. I think we need to return this. So we ended up calling my local shop, and he didn't have it, but he ordered it in. And I was saying to my wife, I was like, you should have called him first before ordering on Amazon, like especially like a box set that just comes. It had no cardboard, nothing. It was just like a plastic bag that it came in. So no wonder. But anyways, this is the 50th anniversary, as I mentioned, which was in 2025, because this is 1975 album. It's got a ton of additional features on this one. There's the original album. There's 2 discs of rarities. There's some like early versions of songs that would appear on like there's an early version of Dogs that would appear on Animals. There's just like demos of certain songs on here. There is a live album, live at Wembley, 1974. There's Shine On You Crazy. There's a disc with an entire side of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, like together instead of bookended by the album. It's all on one side, which is really cool. And there's also like a Blu-ray. There's some physical stuff here, like posters and passes and stickers and stuff. You can kind of see it all there. But anyways, so now that I have the new copy, I just haven't had a chance to open it. But I did listen to the old copy before we sent it back, and it's really, really good. I'm quite happy to have it. So there we go.
Right on. Okay. We'll put Tim here. We'll give the wheel a spin for Daryl. Okay, Daryl, a 60s record.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. What did you pull again? What was your spin?
Like an album that you cherish.
Oh, right. Yes.
So there's 2, and I can't really decide, and they're probably obvious.
Show them both. Paul McCartney.
So number 1, hands down, the story behind getting this is not exciting. But just the fact that I went out and got it. It's this one. There he is.
Wow.
And there he is.
Nice.
Of course.
I got 2 of them. So
you're a little underachiever. Why didn't you get the other 2?
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with me?
What's wrong with you?
And then again, for the same reason. I mean, yeah, same reason. Like I'm never gonna finish this because Dave doesn't sign. Dave doesn't sign, but I've got 3 of them.
Really?
So I've got Roger, Rick, and Nick, but Dave doesn't sign Pink Floyd, so it'll never be finished.
I didn't know that he didn't sign.
Yeah, he doesn't sign Pink Floyd. He'll do anything solo.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you got Rick's autograph, and that's definitely
that was from
like those
way back. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So all of those, the ones you just showed, all of them you got in person?
Yes.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's only like 2 autographs in my collection I bought, and they were like, they're not that expensive. They're just like, oh, I want that in my collection. Yeah. But like I have
That's amazing. I love that.
like I have this one on my wall too, like this one, but it's only got the two of them.
Yeah.
It's only
Wow.
got, but Roger, he signed this one a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Like this one, it's just kind of like really like squished in. It's just Roger W.
Yeah.
Like he almost didn't finish it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still pretty sweet though.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love it.
Very cool, man. Someday I want to come to your house and see your records, man.
Yeah. Get your ass over to Ottawa.
Next time I'm there, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often, but Alex, how you doing, buddy? Hey guys, cool topic. Great to see Chris up there. I see Tim is flexing in. Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
I asked Alex if you wanted to do this, Ted. He goes, I do, but it wasn't available. So it's we'll do this one again. If the consensus is at the end of tonight's episode that this was fun, we'll do it again at some point. So before Daryl's turn, I'm going to spin the Spin-O-Matic 4000 here and see what I get for myself. A 7-inch or a 10-inch? Okay, that's easy. We'll go with Daryl, and I'll pull up my 10-inch.
So mine was a 60s album. It was a little tricky. I mean, I have 60s stuff, but I wanted to find something that was more like an OG. So why don't we do some psych rock? Go with some psychedelic 60s. And of course, to me, this is one of the granddaddies of the psych era. That's Iron Butterfly and In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Awesome.
My dad had this album when I was a kid. Only used to play In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida and not the radio edit, the full 10, 12 minute. I don't even know how
I think it's like 16
how long
minutes.
it is. 17 minutes and 5 seconds. That's what it is. 17:05. So there they are on the back, but this is I believe this is an OG Canadian press, if I remember right. But yeah, no, both sides of this. I mean, this is like flower power psych music, I guess you would say. If I don't have any Donovan, if I would have had Donovan, I would have picked him too, because I think that I'm not saying Donovan's the same thing as Iron Butterfly, but all of those 60s psych bands, there's just something about them to me that's just kind of cool, and I don't know, they just got some weird instruments that they can play sometimes, and I haven't heard anything other than this album by Iron Butterfly, but I've read that some of their albums that followed this are, even though they're not really that well known, are actually pretty decent. So if Alex is still in the comments, let me know. What are your thoughts, Alex, on Iron Butterfly and everything that follows their debut album? Because it'd be really cool to know. So yeah, that's my 60s pick. I like these guys. Once again, got to be in a certain mood for it, though. I wouldn't be listening to it every day. But I also could have shown the Electric Prunes. I do have Electric Prunes as well, which kind of fits the same mold.
There's an album by them called Heavy that I've heard is also good as well.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Plain Yellow Atco mentioned Warner Brothers is the Canadian OG. Their other stuff apparently is very good. So, okay.
Daryl, do you ever listen to side one of that album, or do you just go straight to In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida on side two?
Me?
Yeah.
I start with In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Yeah. And then I go to side one.
Okay.
There you go.
I love that song. I love the guitar riff on it and all that kind of stuff.
I've told this on my channel before, but like I have two buddies and I played that for them like within the last year or two, and all they'd ever heard was just the radio edit, like the 4 or 5 minute version, and they were totally floored. Every time they come over, they're just like, let's listen to In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Love it. Okay. Before I go, we'll do this here, and we'll do that, and we'll give the spin for Chris here. a rock and roll 50s and 60s album. So a rock and roll album from either the 50s or the 60s.
Okay.
Okay. Richard, I hope you're still watching. This is right up your alley. So I got 10-inch. So I got this cool collection of 10-inch. This is from the U2 Joshua Tree album. This was available only to the U2 fan club. There we go. I'm not a member of the U2 fan club. I bought this. Someone had it listed on Marketplace. It is 4 10-inch records, and it comes with this little sleeve, obi, I guess you would call it. Let me just remove this here, and then we'll talk about it. There we go. Bear with me. I don't want to tear this. It says the Joshua Tree singles remastered and live. So what it is it's the 4. Yeah. Richard says, I've not seen that in a while. I see it pop up occasionally on Marketplace. So it's the 4 singles. So it's Where the Streets Have No Name. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. With or Without You, and In God's Country. And so what they did is the A side, they remastered the original single, and then on the B side, it's a live recording of that single from the Joshua Tree anniversary tour, which was 2017, I think. So you get the remastered studio version and then a 2017 live version. So these are all very cool. I mean, if you're a U2 fan, who doesn't love Joshua Tree? And Richard and I are going to make a YouTube video sometime in the next coming days. I'll send you a message tomorrow, Richard. We can plan this thing out. So, yeah, 10-inch.
That's really cool.
Joshua Tree singles. I got it for a steal too. I think I bought it off someone on Marketplace for like $30.
When did you get those?
Oh, it had to be like probably 5 or 6 years ago now.
I don't know if I've ever seen you show those on your channel.
Yeah. I don't know that I have.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it was their fan club releases are really good. There's another 10-inch that they did that was one of their first ever concerts. I know Richard has that one. I can't remember what it's called. And it's like a gatefold 2-disc 10-inch. And then I had another YouTube fan club one that I have that I know Richard is a little jealous of. It looks like a record, but it's 2 CDs, and it's live from the 360 tour. It's called U22. That's incredible. They did a CD of them doing duets with other artists. The fan club stuff is amazing, and I only have a fraction of it. I'd like to get a bunch more of it. Not a lot on vinyl. There's a lot on CD, but yeah. So I knew this was out there, and then when I saw it on Marketplace one day for, I think it was $30. Yeah. Grr. But you've got the record store day version of Songs of Innocence that I want. So balances out. Anyway, so yeah, 10-inch. There you go. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's Chris's turn, I think. And before we do that, we'll just give this a little spin for Tim. There we go. An album you wish you hadn't bought but still won't sell. I think that was yours, wasn't it, Daryl? That was your idea?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Either mine or Tim's.
I read that and I'm like, well, that's silly. And then I went, wait a minute. I've got like 3 or 4 of those. So it's actually a pretty good one. So, all right, Chris, take it away.
Okay, so mine is a 50s or 60s rock and roll album.
Right.
So I immediately thought of this album, which I got from my uncle. a few years ago, my uncle, when I got my channel going, he messaged me and said that he had a bunch of records in his basement, or not a ton, but probably 30 or 40 records in his basement that he said I could have. And so I knew he was a big fan of this person, and I was hoping that there would be some vintage of him in the collection, and there was. So this is Buddy Holly's debut album from 1958. This is a UK original on the Coral label.
Come on.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Daryl and I are both jealous.
Yeah, and it's not in the best condition because my uncle is a huge Buddy Holly fan, and so it's well loved. It's well loved, well played, but definitely still very cool to have. And there were actually a handful of other Buddy Holly albums, a few other ones as well. But he was telling me that he was like, this album was the first album that he ever bought, and so it was really cool to have that one and add that into the collection. And that's just one of the ones. Like I respect Buddy Holly. I wouldn't say I'm a huge Buddy Holly fan by any means, but it's one of those ones, like that's like music history. You kind of want that in your collection just for the contribution to music and rock and roll that he gave. And obviously his life ended way too soon, so cool to have.
Very good. That's like I said before, that's one of those, it doesn't really matter the condition.
Yeah.
I'd like one of those too one of these days. So, all right, Tim, I'm just going to spin the wheel for Daryl here. An album from your favorite producer. Okay. All right. What do you got there, Tim?
All right. So I got a twofer again. Two just caught my eye. So one is just no one needs another copy of this, but it's cool. I don't know why I bought it.
I would take that. Nothing wrong with little Toto.
Africa. Hold on, let's pull this out. So it's Africa in the shape of, well, not in the shape, minus this part here, but yeah. And then
Close
the B
enough,
side, Rosanna.
I would take that in a heartbeat. I love both
Yeah.
those.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it's great. It's just like, I'll never play it. It's just kind of, but it's fun. It's cool.
I have, and stupid as this sounds, I've been looking for Toto 4 in the wild for
Really?
I don't know how long, and I have never, ever seen it.
Okay.
Never.
All right. I'll
Which
try
is
and,
bizarre because you should be able to see that in every flea market you go into. But
yeah. They're uncommon, but they're around.
yeah, never seen one.
Yeah. Okay.
Rob, I wish you had told me I had a copy of Toto 4 and I just sold it actually I was at a record show and I sold it.
I would have bought it off you, man.
I would have given it to you if I
No,
had
I
known
would've
you were
bought it
looking
off
for it.
Yeah, no, I've been looking for that for a while. Not that I'm a giant Toto. I mean, I like Rosanna, I like Africa, but
Yeah.
they're just,
solid.
the more I learned about those guys, they're just such wicked session musicians that
Yeah,
have
they're good
played
musicians.
on everything. So I'm like, if I'm going to get a Toto record, it's going to be that one.
Yeah.
So
And then my other pick, just because it caught my eye, is just I love the artist and the album's okay. It's just bulky and I just hate pulling it out when I want to listen. It's a box set, but it's not really a box set. It's just an album, but it's one of those like
whoa.
It's Joel Plaskett. And he came out with this album. He came out with this album, I think, right during COVID or right after COVID.
Yeah.
So it's a crap ton of music. It's like 4 LPs. And it's not really a box set. It's an album.
Yeah.
But it comes with like this booklet,
I love Joel Plaskett.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Came with like this postcard.
Nice.
And then like the records are done really well too. It came with 45. Like it's crazy. Just for like a regular, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4 LP.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's a bulky son of a gun, but yeah, like I would never obviously get rid of it or anything, but it's just like, it's just, why didn't I just, if there was a smaller version of it, I would have just got that. But
yeah,
but it's cool though.
I've never seen that out in the wild before. I probably wouldn't buy it because it's probably expensive.
Yeah,
but
it's just massive.
yeah. Yeah, love Joel.
But his album, what was it? Is it 3 or 30? You know that album that he had there in the Is it threes? Three, where every song
something
was
like that.
3 words. It was on a 3 LP. Actually, when I ran into him, it's called what?
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every song is like 3 words. It's on 3 LPs. Yeah. I actually got him to sign the record 3 times as a joke. He laughed.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. The only plastic I have on vinyl is my favorite album, which was Truthfully.
That's a good one too.
That's a great record. And then he produced one of Alan Doyle's records. I have that as well.
Yeah.
Which he's on the cover of, but
yeah.
Watch 12. Hey, I would have no problem if 12 copies of Total 4 showed up on my door. That'd be all right. Okay. We'll move Daryl here. We'll spin the spinner. This will be my last turn, so because we're getting close to 10, so we'll spin this one last time. Oh, I got to put it on the screen, you stupid fool. Hold on. Yeah, we're not going to show that one anyway. That's a stupid category. Hold on. That one's boring.
You're getting all the respins, Rob.
That was show a record from the 2020s. Well, who cares? See, I'm working 2 monitors here tonight, so I forgot to hit the magic button so y'all can see this. Try that again.
So, Rob, before you go,
yes,
I need you to do this to end the show off because we're both going to do this.
Okay.
So pick my favorite producer.
Okay.
To be quite honest with you, I don't really care about producers per se.
Okay.
But I needed an excuse. An excuse to show this.
Of course you did.
So I went with Jim Vallance on this one.
Nice.
For my favorite producer. So, I mean, it only goes to show that you have to show a gatefold album of Blue Rodeo now.
Well, I could do that.
I don't think you have any of those, though.
Oh, I might. I just might.
So I could actually, you know what? I could have went with Mutt Lange but I don't have any Def Leppard. And I know like Rob has Shania Twain and all that kind of stuff. So I don't mind Mutt Lange as a producer either. But I'm not like a huge producer guy. I mean, I can only name like a handful of them and that's about it. But I think that, Jim Vallance, he's produced a few Glass Tiger albums or at least participated in some. He's worked with Bryan Adams and things like that. And genuinely, I do think that the Glass Tiger albums, this one, Diamond Sun, they're really well done. I can't say that there's anything bad about them. This is not my favorite Glass Tiger album. That actually would be the Diamond Sun album. But Thin Red Line's good. Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. Someday I'll Be There. You're What I Look For. They're all great songs. So to finish off our show for this evening, I got to go with Glass Tiger as an excuse to show it off.
Daryl, have you seen this copy of Glass Tiger where the
No, don't do that. I want to buy that so bad. Don't do that to me.
You okay, Daryl?
It's not fair, Tim. Don't do that to me.
You didn't pick that one up?
Daryl doesn't have any record stores up there, so
yeah.
Scott says he's got to go work on his radio show tomorrow. Good night. Thanks for tuning in, Scott. Shoot me an email, man. We should have you on here one of these nights. We'd love to have you.
For sure.
All right. So by popular request by Daryl and nobody else, we'll show I gotta supersize myself here. Hold on. Here we go. I'll show a Gatefold Blue Rodeo album. There's lots of them. I could show 5 Days in July, but that's boring. I could show Outskirts. I think Outskirts is the reissue. Gatefold. I don't know. Diamond Mine's a Gatefold. Greatest Hits is Gatefold. But I'm going to show one that I don't think I show very often. I don't even know if I've shown it at all. This is from 2009, called The Things We Left Behind. I'm okay if they left this album behind, to be quite honest, because I don't like it. It's a very cool, I love the album artwork. This is taken at Greg's farm. Greg is one of the front men. His farm is near Port Hope area. It's where they have a studio there. It's one of their 2 studios. There they are lounging on the lawn or the field. There's off the back porch of Greg's house. So the context for this album, this came out in 2009, so it was recorded in 2008. And I remember them saying that they had heard Coldplay say in an interview that the album is dead and they're only ever going to release singles. And Blue Rodeo goes, well, that's kind of silly. We're going to put out a double album and we're going to put it out on vinyl. And so people can listen to an album the way that it should be as an experience, right? It takes you kind of on an emotional journey. And that's what this album is supposed to be. It's supposed to start off on side A as kind of like an afternoon, evening, and then the next side goes into the nighttime. It takes you, the moods kind of are noticeably different on each side of the album. Listen, I love this band, and no disrespect to my good friend Bob, who is on this album. There he is, standing right there. I've told him this, so he's heard me say this. I find this album to be a bit of a drag. The first side is great and the last side is great, but like the nighttime stuff, to me, the energy is just not there to sustain my interest. It's not that the songs are bad, because they're not. I just it is my least favorite, and I don't play it at all. So very great job on the packaging and everything. This was just pre vinyl resurgence, so it was cool that they did this. But just not a big fan of this album. But we'll show it because I don't show it very often. So here's my Gatefold.
I really tried to like that album. I tried.
Things We Left Behind. They did a cool publicity stunt. So there was a period whenever they were releasing an album, they did a publicity kind of thing. And what they did for this is they did kind of like the Beatles rooftop thing. I don't remember where it was in Toronto. They set up on the roof of a building unannounced. You couldn't see them from the street, and they just played. And they filmed it and everything. And it was Rich. Fuck off. Rich is a Dodgers fan, so so it was kind of cool. They did the rooftop thing, but I don't know. Just again, the songs, just the energy's not there for me. So if there was an album by my favorite band I don't like, unfortunately, it's this one. So there we go. What's the consensus, panel and folks in the audience? Did you like the Spinomatic 3000?
That was fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
Should we do it again one of these days?
I like the randomness. You never know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good. It's kind of a neat idea. So it's good.
Yeah.
It's getting on for like 1 minute to 10. So we'll do. We always do go around the horn. What's going on your channel, Chris? Anything these days?
No, not much. You know what? I've been I'm got a couple things going on up here. I'd like to get a video out soon, but I've just been so busy lately. We had the vacation that I was on, and Rob, I don't know. You remember the last time I was on? I was talking about there's a hole in my ceiling. We were
dealing I remember.
That. Yeah, still dealing with that. And
oh no,
my transmission in my car went, so I was dealing with that, and so just and then my wife and I are expecting, so we're doing a lot of that stuff. So
Congratulations.
Congrats.
yeah, thanks. So I've just been so busy, but I'm hoping to get a video or two out sometime soon. Something in the pipeline, hopefully.
Very cool.
Lots of back catalog though for anyone who's interested. Go check that out.
There you go. Emma, thanks for tuning in tonight. John, good to see you, buddy. I'd love if you're, any day you want to jump on with us, you've got my number, man. Let me know. Tim, any shows coming up? I know I think we talked about it before we started.
Dana Crawl's Friday night. That's it for this. Oh wait, no, I've got something else later this month. But Dana Crawl, this week. Yeah, it should be good. I'm excited. She came to the casino on the Gatineau side and across the border. I didn't go to that one, so catch her this time.
Cool. Well, what about you, Daryl? What's going on? I know you put a couple videos up.
I'm like the king of like doing everybody else's threads instead of coming up with my own stuff.
That's okay.
No, my most recent video I did Vinyl Richie, I did his contest there.
You shouldn't, because he's shitting on the Jays, and he's a Dodgers fan.
Speaking of shitting on, that's exactly kind of what my contest entry was bands or musicians that you think could beat the shit out of Gigi Allen if he was still alive. But I took a different approach. There's no Cannibal Corpse or anything like that. It's a different approach. People in the comment section said it was a pretty funny video, so I was pretty monotone, but I did it. So
right on.
I'm gonna do Emma's as well, because though the bonus question I think is a bit tricky for me, but I'm gonna try it. Yeah,
right on. I haven't published a video in 3 months. I've just. Yeah.
Poor Sam is just waiting. He's on edge, I'll bet now.
I know the Americana tag is on this very computer, and it is 3/4 edited, and it will happen. And I do want to do Emma's contest, and I do have a Cheap Trick memory, so I got to get that done. And I've got a few other ideas rolling around in my head. That's not the problem anymore. It's just I spend much more of my workday sitting in front of this stupid computer than I would like to. And the last thing I want to do after staring at the computer all day is then stare at the computer some more. So this is different. I love this because this is just hanging out with my buddies talking about records. It's a little different, but to sit there and edit, and I just go, I don't have it in me right now. So one of these days I'm going to get back on the horse and start making videos. But so. With that said,
Daryl Glass Tiger's coming to town in like 2 weeks. If I go, I'll let you know. I'm not sure yet.
If I go, I'll let you know.
You know what you got to do?
No, I mean, I'll get you something. I'll try to get you something.
Yeah.
Just rub it in and get that like tiger eye one that he just had a freak out of. But get that signed and just show it to him.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that.
That is one of the cooler colored vinyl that I've seen, though.
Yeah,
like
it was pretty.
That's
cool.
why I might buy it one of these days, but I don't know. I'm holding out for Record Store Day as much as I'm not a fan. I've mentioned there's a couple that are on this one that I would
shoot me a text again, Daryl, because I can't remember what you said you were looking for, and I'll make sure to write it down.
Yeah, I'll send you a text or an email. It's the Honeymoon Suite one,
right?
Singles.
Right.
And then there's one called Kay's Choice. I don't know if they're going to have that, but I'd like that one too.
I don't know how much luck I'm going to have. I dread Record Store Day, and I don't want to go, but there's a couple things I'm looking for. So
depending when it is, I usually tend to try to make it out for it. Like I don't mind waiting in the line. So if I see,
isn't it?
I gotta look at the list again because I think
it's next Saturday, isn't it?
Is it? It's usually right around my birthday, so it's got to be soon.
I think it's next Saturday, which is the 19th or something like that.
Yeah, 18th.
18th.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Chris, for being our guest. This was fun, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This has been fun.
To everyone that tuned in tonight, thanks for chatting with us. We love hanging out with you. And for folks who are going to watch this later, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. We will be back next week with a different topic and another guest, and we'll see where that takes us. So thanks, everybody. We will see you next week. Have a good night.